So you think Clap by Howe is just a fun little acoustic piece? Well, think again. This tune is an absolute nightmare to play correctly, and today we are going to break down exactly why. And yes, I have personally suffered through this, so you don't have to. At first listen it sounds like a happy bouncy ragtime style tune, nothing too crazy, right? But once you try to play it, you quickly realize it's a whole different beast. Even though the intro sounds like a simple Travis picking pattern, there's a catch. We don't actually use the thumb. Instead, the bass line is played with a pick. This is what we call hybrid picking. We are using the pick for bass line and fingers for melody. And this leaves us with only middle and ring finger to play those melody notes. I know we have also little finger, but I don't know how to use that finger to play anything on guitar, so I am left only with middle and ring finger. What's worse, once you hold the pick with your thumb and index finger, those next two fingers feel kind of stiff and it is harder to use them. And to make things even a little bit more complicated, there is a slight palm muting going on throughout the whole song, so we need to keep the right hand close to the bridge. So this is not exactly the most ideal starting point, but let's try to play it anyway. But wait, we need to adjust the tempo. It's around 106 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. So we are in the key of D major, and chord-wise we have some interesting choices here. We have D over A, so that's basically D major with A in the bass. Then we have G in this C shape, D over F sharp, A over E, G over D, and again D over A, but in this position. And for the bass line, for the first chord, we play D and G string, and for the rest of the chords we play A and D string. So it sounds like this. And now we add one melodic note in between those bass notes on those first four chords. And the last two chords sound like this. And if we put it all together, we will get this. Once you start getting comfortable with the first part, you might think it is not that difficult after all. And you kind of expect this nice little melody to repeat at least 4 times, but right at the end of second repetition there is a chord change. And this is the story of the whole song. It just constantly evolves and constantly changes. This song isn't just a quick burst of difficulty, it's a 3 minutes of relentless playing. There is no real break and no slow section to catch your breath. So when we go second time around, with that verse, there is this F sharp 7 chord, which leads us nicely to the second part of the song, and this one for me was the most painful. It sounds like this. We've got some basic barrel-shaped chords here, like B minor 7, A7, G, B minor 7 again, and then again G. Easy, right? But not so fast. There is this melody going on top of these chords, and it is definitely not as easy as it might seem. especially when you are practicing it. Once you can play it, you just breathe through it and no problem. But when you practice this part, your left hand might start to hurt quite a lot. Playing those stretches while holding the bass notes is kind of tricky. And after a few repetitions you start to lose strength in your hand and it becomes quite painful. But don't worry, your hand will get stronger and you will get used to those shapes, so after a year or two it might start to sound better. And when you think that it cannot go worse anymore, you bet it can. Just look at this part right here. I get the banjo roll part, but who writes licks like this? Or what about this banjo roll over D7? And this one comes when the song returns to this same spot second time around. And don't forget it's 106 beats per minute. This just gets more and more difficult. And the best part? We are still only 50 seconds into the song. And now, after that banjo roll that I just showed you, it changes again. And now we are in G. And listen to this next part. So it starts with Travis picking over G7. Then we have single line over D7. And then we have strumming over G7 and A7. This requires a lot of control over your right and left hand, and it's just really not easy to play. Just look at that G7 chord. The bass goes A, D, E, D, while the melody goes from F to E on high E string. So that means that you have to hold all those four notes with your ring finger, and when you play those, when you want those bass notes to sound okay and you want the melody to sound okay, it's really hard. Just ridiculous. So once you are done with that A7, we are not done yet. The song continues with a bunch of modulations until it comes to the same place again. And then it continues with even more craziness. But you know what is cool about this? Instead of going through all those modulations, you can choose to go right back to the beginning of the song and start all over again. At least that's what I do, and it makes my life easier and makes me feel semi-competent. Maybe one day I will find the courage to learn the whole song. For now, I'll pass. Not only are these parts difficult by itself, but especially those transitions between different passages are a nightmare. This song feels like 5 songs in one, and that's exactly how you feel when you play it, like you were playing 5 songs at the same time. It's a wonderful tune, but really, really hard to pull off. If you can master this piece, you are not just a good guitarist, you are a beast. Maybe even a wizard. Or at least someone with way too much free time. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you ever attempted to play this song from start to the end. Bye.